Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Alcove outdoor post light. This is the 342025. There are also some sconces that go with this that are quite dynamite, so check those out too. Love them. Let's talk about the size of the fixture, and that's going to be this distance from the bottom of that round collar that slips over the whatever you're going to be putting it on to the top of the glass, and that's going to be 22.4, 7.8 inches wide, 7.8 inches deep. So it's a pretty good size. Let's talk about what it's going to go onto. So you're going to notice you're going to have a pull-down menu. It's going to show you all the different applications you can put this onto. So you're going to have a pier mount, which is going to be about yay big. That would be something that you would put onto, let's say, a stone wall or a pillar. And you'll notice there's also a pull-down menu that says cover cap. And in that situation, you would want that cover cap because it would cover the bottom part with the flange on the bottom, so you wouldn't have to see the attachments. You'll also notice it's going to be offered with a 71-inch post, which you can cut to size on site, just so you know. So that 71 is going to have also a flange on the bottom, and it's going to come with J-bolts. And you basically are going to dig a little hole, you're going to put some quickcrete into it, you're going to put those J-bolts in facing up, and then later, and there's a template that tells you where to put those. And later on, you're going to come back with that post, and you're just going to kind of lower it over those J-bolts and then screw them on so it's very secure. So that's going to be your second application. And if you are doing that and it's below grade, let's say it's going to be a grassy yard or gravel, and you're going to be putting that gravel over the top of that, you're not going to need the cover cap. So think about that for a second. The last application is going to be an 84-inch post, and that's going to be no flange on the bottom. There's a little hole on the side of the bottom that allows the wire to go out, but in that situation, you're really digging a pretty deep hole. You're going to be putting braces to keep this straight up, and then you're going to be filling that with concrete, probably below grade, just like we talked about a second ago, coming back in after the whole thing is over and putting grass or gravel over that. Again, no cover cap needed in that situation. Okay, so those are going to be your pier mounts or your applications for what this can go on to. Let's talk about something else on this. Oh, you can also put this over your own 3-inch post. So if you guys already have a 3-inch outside diameter post in your yard, this will slip right over the top of that. There's a set screw in the side of it. In that situation, I would think you'd probably want to do the coastal black just so you could match up a black post with our fixture on the top. You're going to have a hard time trying to match up our other finishes with your post. So remember that too. Okay, let's move on and we'll talk about glass really quick. So you're going to have two options for your glass in that pull down. One is going to be clear, and it's truly clear, so you're going to be able to see the bulbs that we'll talk about in a second. The other is going to be frosted, so you won't really see these bulbs. So you can use aesthetically non-pleasing bulbs, we'll just call it that. You won't have to worry about what they look like. If you're using the clear glass, you may go for some kind of cool decorative bulbs that are out there, and we'll talk about all the bulbs in a second you can use. As far as lamping goes on this, it's going to be using a traditional socket like this. Now, however, if you are in the state of California and you're pulling permits, and pulling permits in the state of California usually requires you to do California Title 24 compliant fixtures, okay, which don't allow this kind of socket because you could put the dreaded incandescent bulb in this. Ooh, don't want that. So, but what they do want you to do is something like this, which is the GU24 LED setup, which doesn't allow you to put anything into it other than like a fluorescent or an LED. If you're in that situation, drop me a quick email because we do it as we can do it as a custom. Hubbardton Forge has to kind of give their blessing on that. So you would say you're looking at the 342025 and you need it to be a GU24 setup, and then just tell me what you're doing as far as quantity and finishes. I send that email through Hubbardton Forge's customs department. It's going to come back with an answer. Adds a little time and money, but we usually are able to get you over the threshold of what you guys need. Okay, so going back to just regular standard product, when you order this online, it's going to come with just a nice regular socket like this. It's going to be able to accommodate just a nice regular screw-in light bulb, nothing fancy. You can get these kind of bulbs everywhere. Your grocery store, CVS, True Value Hardware, Home Depot. You don't have to go online to find these. If you do want to go incandescent, you can go up to 100 watts, and the recommended bulb size is an A19. That's a traditional size light bulb that we all grew up with. You might be able to get an A20 depending on what manufacturer you're looking at. A20s are bigger, obviously, than an A19. might be able to fit in this glass. It's just a matter of playing around with it. You know, you can pick these up at your local hardware store, and you can always use these kind of bulbs anywhere in your house. So it's okay for you to experiment with light bulbs. Don't be afraid. I found these up to 150 watt equivalent LEDs. Sometimes they come up to 200 watt equivalent. So it depends on how much light you guys really need out of this. 100 watts is going to be incandescent for the heat generated by incandescent bulbs, so that's quite a bit too. It's even a dimmable fixture. Most of you wouldn't be dimming it, but it's a possibility you might. When you get into LEDs, there's also kind of funky shapes that you can do, especially if you're doing the clear glass on this. This is a T6, I think. There's T8s and T10s that are just longer versions of this. This is just a traditional A19 bulb, but it's clear. Looks kind of like an Edison bulb. You can get those kind of cool Edison bulb, old tiny bulbs that look like this but have a little point on them, and that would be kind of cool in this too. So you can, again, you can play around. Color of the light's going to be really important when you talk about LEDs. I talk about it all the time. LEDs are going to be offered in different colors of Kelvin. So 2700 Kelvin, that's like the color of the setting sun. That's very yellow, and that's going to be on that side of the equation. Way over here is going to be called daylight, and be really careful when you're looking at LEDs and it offers daylight. That's not a warm light. That's that bluish white hospital waiting room, overcast daylight, and that's going to be 4,000 and 5,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. What we like to use in our showroom all around is called warm white, and that's 3,000 Kelvin. That's the light coming down on my hands right now. So it's a nice warm glow. It mimics the light from an incandescent bulb we grew up with. And again, they'll be everywhere where you go out to buy light bulbs. So don't be afraid to try different ones. It's really up to you. Your only limit is what can I get into that piece of glass. And with LEDs, there's no reason why you can't try different sizes. They only use aircraft grade aluminum to make all of their outdoor lighting, and the reason they do that is because aluminum holds up better than any other material in harsh, extreme weather. When you go out and you're out in the world, look up and you'll see those jet airlines flying up there way above your head. They're all made out of aluminum for a reason, because it holds up beautifully, it welds beautifully, it doesn't rust, it's very light, and it's just the best material to use outside. So on top of that, they have developed these outdoor baked epoxy powder coats that can go over this and make them pretty much indestructible, and we're going to talk about that right now. So how they do this, you'll notice in the picture next to me, there's a picture of a woman, and she's actually shooting powdered finish at the fixture. And they take the fixture, let's say this is the fixture to begin with, okay? They wire it up with a wire here, a wire coming down. They run a small amount of electricity through it to make it positive. And what that does, it makes it attract everything around it. So when she's over there spraying little bits of powdered finish, what it's going to do, it's going to go over the entire fixture. It's going to get into every nook, every cranny, top, bottom, sides, the whole thing. They're going to take that fixture, they're going to put it into an oven. That's going to melt that down and make it into a hard epoxy shell. And it makes it incredibly strong. Because they do this, and these things have been tested in these wind chambers where they have shot salty seawater at them, basically, because that's what's going to happen on a beach, right, where a lot of these things are going to end up. They had to really do that to make sure that they're going to hold up for you. And because they have done that, they offer the best warranty for the entire lighting industry. And you can see that over on the left-hand side of your screen. Limited lifetime warranty for residential use, and check it out, and it'll really make you feel better about their products. Okay. Moving on from there, why don't we talk about our showroom in Vermont. We have over 350 Hubbardton forged fixtures spread across 2 floors. We actually have a What's on Display page on our website. It's over on the red tabs over on the left-hand side of your screen, so you can open up that and check it out. Showroom has also a clearance center. So clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's an amazing deal for you. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you guys are going to come visit us, do me a favor, bring a big SUV, if you can, if you have one, only because the boxes are set up for shipping. Measure everything you can think of. So measure with a measuring tape, measure your ceilings, measure counters, tables, distances between junction boxes and things like ceilings, because if you're looking, you want to make sure when you're looking at these things that they're going to be able to be used by you for your needs, okay? And then also bring an iPad. If you guys are doing a project and you have a tablet laying around at home, take pictures with that. take pictures, and you can bring that tablet in, and we can go through all those pictures together and look and see what you guys are doing, and I can help you out on that, okay? So when you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else does that. Some larger items, generally big things on pallets and custom things, are going to be non-returnable. We'll always tell you that on the page for it, so just keep your eyes peeled for that. And then on top of all that, we offer a rush program. So in order for you to get all of these different finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. It takes generally about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it is super, super inexpensive. A lot of people don't even know about it. If you want to know about it, the best thing to do is just drop me a quick email, sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. You can also call 802-446-2400 during business hours. And so I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time if you guys want to talk to me. And then you can email us 7 days a week at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. So I think that kind of wraps things up on this. You guys have any questions at all, let me know. Thank you for stopping in today. Take care. Bye-bye.